Hi everyone, it's your girl Crystal from Catching Up with Crystal. Can you keep up with me? Because you never know where I'm gonna be. So today I wanted to talk about um I am going back to school. I decided to go back to school. You are never too old to go back to school. As long as you got breath in your body, you are never too old to learn. So, I am going back to school to be a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So, what's the difference between what I already am as a nurse practitioner and a psychiatric nurse practitioner? My certification is adult gerontology and primary care nurse practitioner. So, I can take care of patients anywhere from the age of 14 years old in my state to death. Okay, so adults, gerontology, and primary care. So my training is in those things: adults, gerontology, and primary care. A psychiatric nurse practitioner is a nurse practitioner who deals with chronic, or which means long-term mental health and psychiatric conditions, or acute, where something might come on all of a sudden. That's what acute means when you hear that word. And medicine is acute. It came on suddenly. Chronic means that it's something that's been happening for a long time. So with the pandemic, there has been an onset of psychiatric conditions such as increased anxiety, increased depression, as you can imagine, being isolated and alone, not being able to get out and see other people, and just the world has changed. People have lost jobs. Housing has become an issue for some people. The pandemic has had several negative effects on people, and what I have noticed is that there is an increase in the need for mental health in people to be addressed. So, and sometimes there's something that's already there, but it can take a situation like COVID. If you were already depressed and then you're forced to stay in the house and even more isolate yourself, which is not the thing you want to do when you're depressed, is isolate. But COVID kind of forced us to stay away from people. It just made things worse, conditions already worse. So I'm going to take you along with me on my journey while I go through school. I am um, going to start May the 23rd. They already sent me some information, um, and I'll be happy to tell you the university that I'm going to. I'm going to Wilkes University. Now, I'm going to be doing an online program because the school is a couple of hours away from me. However, my clinical part of my rotation I have to do in person, and I'll be with either a psychiatrist or another licensed personnel who will be able to teach me the things that I need to learn, dealing one on one with patients, specifically from a psychiatric point of view. Okay, so I'm going to Wilkes University, and like I said, I'm already a nurse practitioner, but I will tell you what courses you're going to need. And this is across the board for anybody. The classes, no matter what school you're going to go to, are going to be similar. They might be named something else, but the national boards, how the boards are set up, which is the boards are the tests that you have to take to become a nurse practitioner or a nurse. First of all, anybody looking at this video is probably a nurse, so you already know that you had to sit for your national boards, but the courses are going to be the same. The difference with me is because I already had my degree as a nurse practitioner, I don't have to sit again for all of the classes that if I was starting from scratch, I would have to take. But I will tell you, you will have to have what's called the 3 Ps. And I'm glancing over here because I do have my course track. You would need to have advanced pathophysiology, advanced pharmacology, advanced health assessment, and a course called diagnostic reasoning for nurses. For nurse practitioners, you will also have to have psychopharmacology. You will have to have health perspectives of culturally diverse rural and underserved populations. And then the rest of the program are your clinicals, which you'll have to have 250 clinical hours each semester, for a total of 500. And then you'd also have to have, there's courses that are psychopathology theories and advanced clinical modalities. And that's a lot of a mouthful. But I just want to tell you that at the end of everything, when everything is done and said, I myself personally only need 18 additional credit hours past um, my degree that I already have. So I do not have to have pathophysiology again, which basically is, it teaches you, when I took patho in my original program, it's just all about the body. It's like diseases, how to treat them. If you remember, if you're an RN and you're looking at this, then you remember your anatomy and physiology. So pathophysiology is anatomy and physiology on steroids. It's not an easy class to take. It's not a class where you can fake the funk. There are some classes that you could wing it, go in there, you know enough about something that you could pass. Pathophysiology is not a class that you could do that. It's like you have to know the material. I already took advanced pharmacology to become a nurse practitioner. Again, this is, remember your pharmacology class in your RN program. This is pharmacology on steroids. You have to know not only the drug, how does it work, the mechanism that it works, how it's excreted. Is it excreted, or is it excreted, through the kidneys, through the liver, those are just examples. Different kinds of enzymes. You either know it or you don't. Pharmacology is no joke. It's not for the weak and faint of heart. And the other one is health assessment. Advanced health assessment is about the whole body and what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to sound like, breath sounds, your stomach, your abdomen, when you do the physical exam, what you're looking for, what you can see and hear, and that kind of thing. So those you cannot fake. So I have 18 credits. I'm starting May the 23rd, and I should be finished in the spring of 2023, which is awesome. I could have went back to my old alma mater where I got my nurse practitioner degree, but they have a shortage of clinical sites, and so it would have made me finish my classroom work early, but I wouldn't have been able to attend clinical. So just because waiting a year, I just wasn't interested in doing that. So I sat in on an orientation at Wilkes, which was awesome. My student advisor has been very supportive of me. She stays in contact with me. She explained the program, how it worked. She's always been a phone call away. And if I need anything, I just reach out by email or phone, and I've never had trouble getting a hold of her. So recently, I got my first assignment, but it doesn't count for grades. It was called nursing orientation, where you learn to be successful by using the tools, because this is going to be an online program. So I had an assignment to post on a discussion board, and I was familiar with that because everybody these days has a discussion board like Blackboard, but at Wilkes it's called Live, Live. I also had to post an assignment where I understood, after they want you to read APA format. When you get to the graduate level, you should know APA, because all of your papers have to be cited, no plagiarism. I mean, that's not acceptable at any level, but I mean, APA format, you should be familiar with. By the time you get to the graduate level, you should have already written some papers and be familiar with that. I also had to take a test on APA, but you didn't get a grade for that. I also had to just write a post on a discussion board introducing myself. So that was my first assignment, but it doesn't count through anything. It just was giving you things like you had to look up a journal article online through their library, just things that'll give you tools so that you could be successful once the program starts. And again, my program starts May the 23rd, excuse me. So I will take you guys with me on that journey. This is going to be interesting. If you want to know more, stay tuned. This is Catching Up with Crystal. Life is what you make it, so make the most out of life. Stay tuned for the next video. I will take you along with me on this journey while I go through school, the trials, the tribulations, working full-time and being Crystal. Can you keep up with me? Because you never know where I'm going to be. Please like and subscribe. Stay blessed. Life is what you make it, so make the most out of life. Talk to you in the next video.